Hey guys, so this is a very awful angle. I just realized that right now. I'm getting off in a second. I have an appointment today to get my hair done in dreadlocks, so that's gonna be exciting. I think I'm getting like majority of them done except the very, very, very top of my head, like the top layer or something in my bangs. I've had them before for anybody that knew me. But yeah, so I've had them before and it's nothing really super new to me. I just want to make sure that I do them better this time, like without the extension hair winded into it and more in general. Yeah, anyways, so I will see you in a second when I get there. Okay, so I'm super awkward walking in public, vlogging, so I don't do it a lot, but I got a booster juice to kill time. She was working on another client and now I'm walking over to her shop. So it should be a couple hours. So how many do you think we have then? You had 5 before.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're almost
Not bad.
in the double digits.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
so we've left the ends tapered, so it gives it a really nice soft look, and we're gonna bring it up halfway more.
Okay, so do you think like 9 more or?
Yeah.
Okay.
9, 12.
Gotta keep
something.
this out though.
Yeah, we're gonna keep out a significant amount of hair.
Yeah. Sweet.
Second time getting dreadlocks. Get a little higher there.
It's too bad you didn't leave one on this side.
Oh, that would I could just do that. I'm making medium-sized dreadlocks for her hair type. But if somebody has really dense, thick hair, I mean, you can do sections that are like, I don't even know how close I can get here. Oh, mirror. Wait, here. That's small.
What size crochet are you using?
I actually use 2 hooks. I use a 1 and I use a 0.6. Yeah, in terms of sectioning, I do sort of suss out the density of their hair, and the way to check the density of the hair is to just kind of put all their hair into a ponytail, and you'd be able to know whether it's like sort of a thick density or thin. So I mean, this is like, you know, roughly half of Hillary's hair, and even though it looks very fine, she has a lot of it. Like, it's not a super thick ponytail, but I've definitely seen way thinner than this, and this is half
Really?
of your hair. Yes. How many did you have the first time?
I ended up with 7. We started with 5 and then I think we added 2.
Okay.
Or yeah, I had 7. I know because I used a flea comb for each one and I ended up with 7 flea combs at the end.
Dreadlock, working on a dreadlock.
I like the ends like that.
Yeah.
I love when they're like that.
Yep. You know, they're locked about 3-4 inches down, and then the rest of it is just a taper. Because her hair is really fine on the ends, and we want to keep the full length of the hair, I'm going to be wrapping a few of them as well. But it's just to keep that sort of blended bohemian style, as opposed to locking it from top to bottom or blunting the ends.
I can already feel the tightness.
Yep. Breathe.
I know.
It's really not that bad.
Oh.
It's a little discomforting because it's so tight.
It gets itchy in the summer though. That's
Yeah.
the part that I didn't really like when I was working on the farm with it.
So itchiness can be combated a couple of ways. We were talking about peppermint spray, you know, tea tree helps. All right, where are we at? So because she wants some sort of underneath but peekabooing but still like on top, I am strategically placing where the next ones go based on how her hair falls. So each time I sort of check where I want to place the next one. If this was totally random, then she might come across some difficulties down the road, like hair getting stuck into the dreadlocks and creeping in and so forth.
I've watched a couple people on YouTube that their dreads like combined and they got like really, really thick dreads.
Yep.
Ugh.
So this is the one thing. If you're gonna do something like this where it's like a half and half, you really want to keep the dreadlocks next to each other with no loose hair in between, because that's going to inevitably just go right into the dread. So you want the dreadlocks next to each other, and then if you want that sort of like loose hair look, it is predominantly coming from the top. Most people don't have really the loose hair underneath. The only way that you would have loose hair underneath is actually the opposite, not doing it in advance, but over years and years of having old dreadlocks and letting them naturally mature. Your hair is constantly shedding and it's constantly regrowing. So when it's regrowing, it may not make its way back into the dreadlock that it's supposed to, and then it just grows separate, and that's how you get loose hair.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But if I were to just dreadlock here, loose hair, dreadlock, loose hair, it would be more problematic for you in the long run.
Okay.
I'm sectioning as I go. Occasionally I'll section out a few at a time. If I'm doing the whole head, I will almost always map out the top. But as far as moving upward towards the top, I do it freehand. I've been doing this so long, I kind of know the direction of how I want the placement of the dreadlocks to be. So, and I'm always keeping in mind how the hair wants to fall, the parting of the hair. Everybody's hair parts differently. Some people have a cowlick that goes out at the back. How are the dreadlocks going to affect that? Or how is the hair going to affect the dreadlocks?
What is the string for?
Okay, so I get asked this virtually every time I do a live video. The thread helps to gather all the hair. It helps to separate the dreadlocks in long term, so you don't have them growing together or getting stuck together immediately. It helps to alleviate some of the discomfort from using the hook. It's the difference between, like, if you had a tangle in your hair and I was just to comb out her hair like this, or hold it and then comb it out. It feels a little more tolerable. The thread will also, this is one of the most key important parts, is the hair that sheds gets stuck behind the thread. And the more shed hair you can catch, the better the dreadlock will become at the root, because that shed hair combined with the regrowth is what actually creates a Caucasian dreadlock.
Does that eventually dread up, or do you cut out?
Right. So the thread, if she were to come in for a maintenance, I would pop out the old thread and I would, and then I would add a new one at the scalp. But if I don't see somebody for a year, like this, the thread will literally grow down 6 inches, give or take. A lot of times you don't even notice that it's there. But I will almost always pop out all the threads. Otherwise, you'd have thread all the way down the dreadlock, and that can look a little. It can start to look a little sausagey, especially if you're not really comfortable with how you mat the hair behind the thread.
Is there a way for me to cut them out myself when I'm gone, or
Stitch ripper, not scissors.
Okay.
Never scissors.
But I can just do it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Wait at least 3-4 weeks.
Okay.
Because you want to make sure that
Yeah.
that hair is starting to shed and catching.
Yeah.
And it'll create a domino effect, right? Like if the thread is all the way down here, you're going to have a dreadlock here, and then the shed hair is going to catch and keep.
So should I wait
compressing.
till about there to do it?
Yeah, ideally, if you can wait, a month or two,
Mhm.
depending on how fast your hair grows,
Mhm.
that would be good. Yeah, because if you do take out the thread at an appropriate time, and you can kind of massage where that pinch was,
Yeah.
it just goes away.
Okay.
Once you start neglecting the dreadlocks or neglecting your hair to turn into dreadlocks, some of your sections might turn out really nicely, but there's no guarantee. It tends to separate where the hair where the hair grows in different directions.
Mhm.
But more often than not, what will end up happening is you'll get a section that looks like this.
Okay.
So these hairs are going into this dreadlock, and these hairs are going into this dreadlock, and then you never see the scalp. So what you
okay.
want is a clean line,
Yeah.
right? That division. And you can't do that by neglecting.
Yeah.
You'll never get a straight line.
Okay.
So if you start that way, and you can kind of rip them apart, and it also depends on your texture of hair.
Mhm.
But I find that having clean lines all the way around the dreadlock is what is going to keep them going healthier for longer. And the stronger the base, and the more consistent the base of the dreadlock is,
Mhm.
the healthier the dreadlock will be as it grows.
Okay.
Right? When hair falls out of the dread
Yeah.
and nobody repairs it, nobody puts it back in, the base weakens,
Mhm.
and then eventually as it grows, you might have it might be joined in again, but you get a weak spot, right? So there's less hair and then more hair, and then eventually that will break apart.
Okay. So long. Hey guys, so I'm filming the rest of this video just on my laptop really quick. I didn't really get to finish off the rest of the vlog about my dreads, so this is just the last little bit of the video. So I'm not really sure exactly how many I have in my head. I have it half up right now. I'd have, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 that are up right now, so you can kind of get an idea. I think when we were counting halfway, I had 9. So I think it's around like 20, maybe 25. It's like a decent number. She said it's not like too much, it's not too little. When I got them the first time, last year, I only had 7 on the bottom. So now if you do 9 and then the whatever on the top. So yeah. So what she did to dreadlock them is she would section them off with a piece of string right at the root. She would back comb it really quick and then palm roll it and then take a crochet hook and tighten it up and pull the loose thread inside. That's called felting. So she did a combination of palm rolling, felting, and twist and rip. So she just kind of twist and then rip, twist and then rip. So it's like a combination of everything. It's kind of wavy right now at the tips because this part is not dreaded. It ends about here on the dreads. So you can get an idea. They go like only a little bit, and then I have the rest of my hair normally. But I had a shower today, and usually I wait a couple days or like 4 or 5 days or whatever before showering just to make sure that the dreads can actually lock. But I didn't have a shower the day of the dreads, and I worked on the farm that day, so my hair is just really greasy. And then I worked on the farm this morning, and I was like, God, these are going to stink in a couple days. So I made sure to just wash it with tea tree oil, shampoo to make sure I kill any bacteria that was in my hair. And I blow dried it and let them air dry. Right now it is half up, if you can see that. So those are the ends. And she left some pieces at the top here. So when they actually relax, because if I was to take my hair out right now, they would be sticking straight out to the side. When they relax more and like start growing out from my root a little bit, they'll be more flat, and then the hair that's up here will fall between the dreads, so it will be kind of overlapping with dreads and normal hair, and you won't see it as much, but you will be able to notice if you actually look at my head. And she left some of my bangs out here. She did a quick bang trim because mine were super long, and I don't like them being super long. And yeah, she did a good job. It took about, we started at like 2:30, 2:45, and I was finished around 6:15, so it took about like 3 hours or so. So not bad at all for like what she did and how tight they are and our time limit. So for all of you wondering, I did not get a chance to show the sign. She doesn't have a sign directly outside on the street view. She has more up the door, and I totally forgot to get a picture of the sign or a video of the sign. So if you want to get your hair dreadlocked by somebody who's reputable, clean, polite, affordable, and she's been doing this for like 15 years or something crazy, then I highly suggest going to a place called Modlocks. It's on King Street in downtown Toronto. Her name's Karen. She's a very lovely lady, and she's amazing. She can do pretty much anything. She doesn't just do dreadlocks either. She also does a lot of hairstyling. So if you're looking for a color and a cut, or you want to get your hair dreaded and then like I did with my bangs cut or something, then you can go to her for that as well. So be sure to follow her on Instagram and stuff. She does live videos all the time, and she answers everybody's questions. So be sure to check her out, Modlocks. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, I'll see you guys in a video in a couple days. See ya!